श्रीमान वेंकटनाथार्य कवितार्किक केसरी वेदांताचार्य वर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदाकृति श्रीवासरंग परकाल मुनित्रयाप्त लक्ष्मात्मरक्ष्मयतिर्वागमान्तम् आचार्य भक्ति परिपूत मलर्गशीलं गोपाल देशिक मुनिं गुरुमाश्रयामः. So we have been enjoying Vishnu Puranam as beautifully narrated by sage Parasara to sage Maitreya. So it's all Acharyan Kripai that we are blessed with this opportunity to share, to enjoy together the wonderful, majestic, divine Vishnu Puranam, because of which we do not even know how much of punya we accrue with this. So we enjoyed Dhruva Charitram and Prathum Chakravarti Charitram in the last few weeks. Now we are going to enjoy the most majestic, divine story of our Prahlada. Prahladan, even the child knows the Prahlada Charitram. It's always a very sweet and very refreshing for us to enjoy the Prahlada Charitram. So the narration of events in Prahlada Charitram is not given much importance by sage Parasara, but the sage Parasara represents the history of Prahlada, the narration or the conversation between Prahlada and his father Hiranyakasipu in a very useful manner, with a way to teaching us, with a view to teaching us in the important philosophical concepts as well as the manners and as well as the code of conduct, the way of life that we need to have. So unlike Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, Vishnu Puranam does not elaborate about Lord Narasimha's appearance from the pillar or even his fight with Hiranyakasipu and killing him. But we would enjoy that also, of course, but because that's the most wonderful climax. But Parasara tells us about the difficulties endured by Prahlada for motivating us and for having such a vairagyam and determination and mahavishwasam, the unconditional, unflinching faith on Perumal. So our Dakshan had daughters, and he had daughters called Aditi, Diti, Dhanu, Arista, Surasa, Kaksha, Surabhi, Vinata, Tamra, Krodavacha, Yila, Gatru, Kadru, Muni, like that. And these 13 daughters were married off to sage Kashyapa Maharishi. And Kashyapa Maharishi, so one of the wife's spouses is Diti, and that's what we are going to talk about now. Diti had 2 sons and 1 daughter. The 2 sons are Hiranyakshan and Hiranyakasipu. And Hiranyakshan is the elder, Hiranyakasipu, 2 sons, and Simhika is the daughter. Simhika got married to Viprasiddhi, another Asura. So the Diti children are called Daityas, the Asuras. So Hiranyakasipu had 4 sons: Anuhladan, Hladan, Prahladan, Samladan. So Prahladan was a great Mahatma. And how come he alone became Mahatma? We will enjoy in a couple of minutes. So Hiranyakshan, we know when we saw Varaha Puranam, Hiranyakshan is the one who took the mother earth, the Bhuma Devi, and he hid himself under the cosmic waters, and our Perumal took the huge boar, Mahapotri, the huge boar avataram, Varaha avataram, and the entire the waters, cosmic waters, were in the hoof of the Varaha, in the leg, in the toe of Varaha. And Varaha killed Hiranyakshan, and he brought the Bhuma Devi out of trouble, and we enjoyed the Bhuma Devi's question and Varaha Piran's assurance we enjoyed. So now Hiranyakasipu is so antagonized and angered by Vishnu who took Varaha Avataram and killed his elder brother. And hence Hiranyakasipu, who is already married to Kyatu, now he wanted to go and undergo a severe penance because he wanted to get a boon from Brahma. Thereby he can conquer Devas, he can conquer the world, and he can simply control. He will have almost deathlessness. He wanted to seek deathlessness from Brahma. So he went to the forest and underwent severe penance, tapas, leaving his wife Kyatu pregnant. Now, the Devas, when Hiranyakasipu went away for penance in the forest, he of course was a great scholar, he was a yogi, so he performed very severe penance with no eating, nothing. So he underwent tapas. In the meanwhile, Devas came and invaded Hiranyakasipu's kingdom, and they conquered, they confiscated his property, and Devas dragged Kyatu, who was pregnant, and Devas wanted to kill the Kyatu's fetus, who is growing inside the womb, because they did not want any Asura's progeny surviving. Sage Narada saw that, and he immediately rushed to save Kyatu because she was pregnant, and she told Devendra that this is completely inappropriate to torture and harass the Dharmapatni. She is married to Hiranyakasipu, and we should not do that. Respect the women. And she is pregnant. So then Devendra said, the boy who is the child who is born to Kyatu will also be Asura and will be my enemy. So I have to kill the unborn child. Narada said, I will take him into custody. Take the child into custody. I will take care of Kyatu. Hand over her to me. So when she was handed over, he took her to his ashram, and she was there until the birth of Prahlada. And every day Narada used to have his Nama Sankirtanam, his singing, his veena, his storytelling, Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Ramayanam, everything was narrated to Kyatu. And Kyatu, while she was pregnant and she was carrying, she used to, because she was tired, she used to fall asleep. Like every one of us, when we hear the Srimad Ramayanam and Srimad Bhagavatam, we doze off. When we read our textbook, we doze off. Whereas when we watch movies, we don't do that. And so, here when she was dozing off, the inside baby, the fetus, was actually listening to the whole Puranams, Bhagavatams, and Srimad Ramayana. And Hiranyakasipu came back after a few years, and he sent Prahlada, the child, to learn from Sukracharya's sons, Shandan and Amarkan. So, in the meanwhile, when Hiranyakasipu performed penance, after so many years, the Chaturmukha Brahma appeared in front of him and asked, what boon does he want? He said, I want deathlessness. Brahma said, no way. We cannot give you deathlessness. You have to die some way or the other. But modify the boon and seek. So Hiranyakasipu said, I want death by no animal, no devas, no manusha, not inside, not outside, not in the day, not in the night, not on the earth, not in the sky, and not by the weapon which has got life, not by the weapon which has got no life. So he made all permutations and combinations of the ways in which he could die. He could have told no bombs, no accidents, no car, no train, no flight, nothing, no COVID. So he would have ruled out all possibilities, and then he sought this boon. Chaturmukha Brahma almost fainted that look at the way he has asked for boon. And he said, not by Devas, not by Indra, not by Shivan, not by Brahma, not by human. And then he said, I do not want death by anyone created out of you, Brahma. He said. So Brahma was happy that he sought this boon, that nobody who is created by Brahma should be able to kill Hiranyakasipu. So Lord Vishnu Nanmuganai Narayanan Padaithan, Nanmuganum Tanmugamai Shankaranaitan Padaithan, says Alvar in the Nalayar Divya Prabandham. So the Chaturmukha Brahma was created by Vishnu, Sriman Narayana. So Sriman Narayana himself now can kill Hiranyakasipu. So there was a loophole in the boon sought after by Hiranyakasipu. So what happened when Hiranyakasipu came back? He sent Prahlada to learn the text, the whatever teaching from Shukracharya's sons, Shandan and Amarkan. After many months, Hiranyakasipu wished to see his son from the Gurukula. So Prahlada came back. So he asked Prahlada, what is it that you learnt? Tell me, my child. Prahlada said, wait, I will answer you in detail. But before that, let me worship Achyuta. He said, Hiranyakasipu was shocked. Who is Achyuta? I have learnt that men should not lust after wealth, but they should dedicate themselves to Achyuta for this world. And the wealth in this world is not at all permanent. Father, Prahlada started lecturing to the utter anger of Hiranyakasipu, because number one enemy for Hiranyakasipu is Lord Vishnu. And Prahlada says, Lord Vishnu is the first cause of all cause. He has no beginning or no end. He does not grow or he does not decay. He is Achyuta, the one who never lets us down. One who never lets us down for those who have faith in him, who have taken refuge in him, who have surrendered to him. He does not let them down. Hiranyakasipu accused the teachers, because we always do that. When we go for parent-teachers meeting, when our child is being accused by the teacher, we come back home and say, the teacher is wrong, the school is wrong, my son is never wrong. So Hiranyakasipu now accuses the teacher of spoiling Prahlada's mind. The teachers denied all the accusations, and they sought more time to train Prahlada and to mold Prahlada's mind. So now, after a few months, again Hiranyakasipu wanted his son back and to ask him. He now asked, which is the best among things that you have learnt, my Kuti? Tell me. Prahlada once again sang the glories of Vishnu. Shruyatam Tata Vakshyami Sarabhutam Tattvajnaya. So here he says, I have learned to love Lord Vishnu with bhakti, Appa. We must worship Lord Narayana because he is the root of everything. He does not grow. He willingly protects his devotees without expecting anything in return. And he is the one who creates the universe. He is the one who wraps up the universe at the end. He is the Jagat Karana Bhutan. He is Sarveshwaran. He must be loved by us. Hiranyakasipu eyes turned red with anger. Raktalochanaha. Here sage Parasara narrates in such a detail. It runs to very many pages because he was enjoying the Prahlada Charita. And Hiranyakasipu felt that steam was coming out of his ears. He was so antagonized and angered by Prahlada's words. Why did you teach such nonsense and turn my son towards my enemy? He yelled at the Prahlada's tutors. You have taught my son to disrespect me and glorify my enemy. Because the teachers taught him Hiranyaya Namaha, and he says Narayana Namaha. The tutors defended themselves against the accusation. We did not teach Prahlada like this. It is he who learns on himself. It is he who speaks about on himself, on his own accord. Now Hiranyakasipu turned towards Prahlada. If your teachers had not taught you to sing in my praise and to sing in praise of my enemy, where did you teach this? Where did you learn this lesson? Who taught you this lesson? Father, dear Appa, Prahlada said, the same person who is making you ask this question as an antaryami, as the indweller in you, is also in my heart. He is the same indweller in my heart. He is the only one who controls everyone and everything in this universe, including you from within. Except him who has got the capacity. Who else has the capacity to control us? If he directs a person to yell at us, or if he inflicts punishment upon us, it is only to help us improve ourselves. If somebody is scolding us, if somebody is abusing us for our mistake, that means the Perumal is speaking from his heart to correct us. If somebody is speaking, even if we have not committed any mistake, against us, because he is dissolving our papam. The person who is speaking is dissolving our papam by doing that. So we should always think like this. These things we should learn from Prahlada Charitra. Then only we can become a better person. So Prahlada taught us the most important concept through his sloka. He brought out the fact that Lord Vishnu is the indweller. He is the one who controls. He is the one who directs everyone from within us. Parents, government, teachers advise their children, advise their citizens, advise their students, do's, don'ts, but they can only drag the horse to the water. They cannot make it drink. Lord Narayana, on the other hand, is our indweller as our antaryami. From within us, he controls us to do certain activities while preventing us from doing other activities. If he does not want you to listen to this, you will not listen. You will log off and go out. Because it is our karma, because of which he is facilitating you to switch off. It is your punya karma. He is facilitating you to listen to this Vishnu Puranam in spite of my saying it. And it is because of his kripa. It is because of he, indweller, who is doing this with his sankalpam. All the changes we see around us occur per the will of the indwelling antaryami. The Lord's sankalpam is the internal driving force. And same thing, when Krishna walked into the assembly of Duryodhana had already told all his ministers, Bhishma, Drona, everyone, not to get up when Krishna comes in, because he belongs to our enemy. Do not get up. They all said, agreed. If, O king, whatever you do, we will follow. If you sit, we will also sit. So when Krishna walks into the assembly, when he came in as a messenger, his tejas, his splendor, his beauty, his divinity, his what do I say, his saulabhyam, his swamitvam, sarveshwaratvam, and that brightness made Duryodhana get up automatically, and everybody got up immediately. Then Duryodhana, after Krishna went, scolded everyone. Why did you get up? Because you got up. Why did then Duryodhana get up? Because the indweller wanted Duryodhana to get up, the antaryami. So here now the Prahlada mentions that it is immediately. Prahlada mentions that it is the antaryami who is making you ask this question, and hence he is the Sarveshwara. He is the supreme being. So when Hiranyakasipu asked, who is this Vishnu you keep speaking about? He is the supreme Lord. He is the supreme Sarveshwaran. He is the Parameshwara, the Sri Vaishnavas. So when we perform Sandhyavandanam, we say Kesavaya Namaha, Narayana Namaha, Madhavaya Namaha, Govindaya Namaha, Vishnu. So Achyutaya Namaha, Anantaya Namaha, Govindaya Namaha, all these names attribute to him. So he is the one who is the Sarveshwaran. Who is this Sarveshwaran? You keep speaking when I am here. Sarveshwaran, Hiranyakasipu said. Because Hiranyakasipu, with his power, with his prowess, he conquered the whole world, including Devas. He got them back. He imprisoned them. So, Father, please don't get angry. Don't get agitated, says Prahlada. He is not only Sarveshwara for me. He is not only a supreme Lord for me, but He is also your Lord. He is the supreme. He is the supreme commander of everyone. Only Lord Vishnu is the true Sarveshwara. A ghost or evil entity must have possessed your heart, Prahlada. That is why they have turned you against me. Not just my heart, says Prahlada. He is under the control of everyone's heart. He is the one who has conquered everyone's heart. Others don't realize. So, the Hiranyakasipu was so angry that he told the tutors, take him back and teach him well. Unless he corrects himself, I would not spare you, he told the teachers. So, the instruction to the teachers, the two tutors took Prahlada back to school. The tutors knew that Hiranyakasipu was wrong, but they didn't have the courage or bravery to stand up to him. They were amazed and overwhelmed at Prahlada's courage. All because of Narada's preaching, all because of Narada's sadhu darshana. That is what is key. Even though he is born of Asura Kulam, even though he was brought up by the Asuras, he was blessed by the sadhu. So always we should be under the kataksham of a sadhu, of a Bhagavatottama. Thereby we would, without our knowledge, we would transform. So after a couple of months, Hiranyakasipu brought Prahlada back. He wanted to check if he had finally learned the truth about himself, Hiranyakasipu. Child, sing me a song which is very dear to you. So he sings, may he from whom the matter and the soul originate, the create, may he, the Lord, from whom the matter, the Aachi, the soul, the Chit, the Jivatma and the universe originate, in whom both the movable and the immovable are going back or contained. The one who is the cause of all this creation, the Vishnu, he is my favorable. You are not my son, thundered Hiranyakasipu, roared. You are my enemy. You have come to destroy my kulam. Kulatte kedukka vanda kodari kambu. You are a fire which will consume my entire kulam. Soldiers, come here immediately. He asked the soldiers to come. He ordered Prahlada to be cut into pieces with sharp weapons. He didn't care whether he is son or not. He was so angered that he wanted Prahlada to be cut to pieces. The Asuras rushed towards Prahlada with sharp-edged weapons. Prahlada remained fearless. He remained completely calm, composed, and he said, Lord Vishnu is residing in me, as well as residing in the sharp weapons. So the weapons will not cause any harm to me, my dad will not. To the utter amazement of Hiranyakasipu, all the sharp weapons turned into soft flowers when they touched Prahlada. Hiranyakasipu mistakenly thought that Prahlada was not injured because he has taken the genes of Hiranyakasipu, and so because of Hiranyakasipu's prowess, because of Hiranyakasipu's power, strength, the sun is also so strong that he cannot be touched by the weapon. He could never understand why Prahlada was not afraid of Hiranyakasipu when the three worlds were feared against Hiranyakasipu. We should learn from the above narration that any harm caused to us by a person or a thing happens only because Lord has taken a sankalpam for it to happen. And no harm can come and touch us if the Lord's will is to protect us. And if we have unflinching, unconditional Mahavishwasam on the Lord. And Tvai rakshati rakshakais kimanyaihi, Tvaisa rakshati rakshakais kimanyaihi. Swami Desikan mentions in Kamasikastakam on Lord Nrsimha. If you have decided to protect me, nobody else need to. If you have decided not to protect me, nobody else can. What a beautiful line it is. And Prahlada, when Hiranyakasipu asked, why are you not afraid of me, Prahlada? Prahlada laughed. Lord Vishnu removes my fear. When he is in a person's heart, there is no reason to fear anything. Nirbharo nirbhayosmi. If you have surrendered to Vishnu, if you have placed your burden of protecting you back to Vishnu, you need not fear about anything. Because whatever is in this life is because of our karma. Whatever that we have to be after this life, which is moksham, we have already performed Saranagati and he has already assured. So why to worry about this as well as the upper world? No need to worry. Nirbharo, nirbhayosmi. No bharam, no bhayam. And hence, there is no reason to fear anything apart. We should only fear punishment from the Perumal if we fail to follow his Shastra. If he says do it, we have to do it. And if we don't do it, we have to really be afraid of him. He is Dandadaratvan. He will punish. Apart from him, we need not fear about anyone or anything because he is there to protect us. Prahlada was so confident and composed. The true Vishnu Bhaktas are those who remain fearless like Prahlada. And if I am not, Adiyan is never. And if I am scared of something, means I am not a devotee at all. I am not an actually truthful devotee. All Vesham. So see the Antaryami Lord in everyone, and he is there to protect every time and from everyone. As soon as we recognize the Lord as Antaryami in everyone, our quarrels, our anger, our hatred, our arguments with all other people will vanish, because the indweller of each and every one is Narayana. So Hiranyakasipu then ordered the most famous, most fearsome, cruel, wild serpents to be pitted against Prahlada so that they might bite him with their poison. When the venomous serpents bit Prahlada, he felt no pain. He was completely unharmed. Hiranyakasipu continued to think that because of his gene, because of his prowess, he is being protected. As the serpents retreated with broken tongue, and Hiranyakasipu ordered the elephant to stamp on Prahlada and crush him, to gore him to death with their tusks, with their tusker. Prahlada continued to stay calm. He had the dhyanam on Vishnu even when he was attacked by the elephant. The elephant retreated and their tusks were broken when they tried to hit him. Dig a large fire pit and light the fire pit with thousands of dry firewood. Let me know after setting the fire to the pit. So they set the fire in a pit, and when the fire pit was ready, Hiranyakasipu simply dragged the 6-year-old Prahlada to the pit. Oh child, I give you one more chance before I push you into the fire. Do you want to alter your statement? Do you want to alter your stand about the best thing you have learned? He said, what I told you earlier is the best thing I have ever learned in my life, and that's all. Then you may burn in all-consuming fire. He pushed Prahlada into the burning fire. Father, Prahlada said, it feels very cool inside the fire. It looks like small lotus petals. The cool, gentle breeze is extremely pleasant here, Appa. And he told the soldiers, go and check if there is a real fire or it is only a mirage. Prahlada said, Father, please don't ask your people to come here, because they all will be burnt to ashes. It is only cool for me because Narayana is protecting me. The angered Hiranyakasipu gave one more chance to the tutors to change the mind of Prahlada. This time Prahlada was with other friends in the classmates, and when teacher goes away for a cup of tea, he teaches the students all the good things. He said, Keshavaya Namaha, Narayana Namaha, Madhavaya Namaha. So Prahlada instructed them, and when they said, when we grow old, we will say all these things. Now we have to say only Hiranyaya Namaha. He said, no need, because there is no old, there is no young. We have to say this all the time. And we will have very little time to concentrate when we become old because of the weakened body. So Prahlada's instructions to his classmates from Vishnu Puranam also was reproduced and incorporated by Swami Adi Shankaracharya in Bhaja Govinda. So when you are old, at that time the Shastras, the learnings, the Vedantam will not come to the rescue. Only Govinda can come to the rescue. So Hiranyakasipu was enraged and angered with Prahlada as he started to preach to the other children as well. So he was spreading the Narayana message to everyone. He ordered the tutors who were very well versed in Atharvana Veda to produce a sort of ghost, a krityai, from the sacrificial Agni and make it harm Prahlada. And they created a ghost from the Agni and from the Atharvana Veda and the sacrificial from the fire, and they sent the krityai to harm Prahlada. What happened? Of course, he was unafraid, and Lord Vishnu is in my heart. I have nothing to be afraid of. So the krityai could not harm Prahlada. They could not touch. So what it did, it went back and started hitting all those people, those tutors who sent the krityai. So the tutors immediately surrendered to Prahlada for help. Oh, please save us from the krityai. So if I treat everyone equally, if I have devotion on Vishnu, if I treat my friends as well as the enemies same, if Lord Narayana is in my heart and everyone's heart, let my teachers be protected, Prahlada said. And they were protected. The ghost disappeared. Hiranyakasipu asked Prahlada to be thrown from the top of a mountain. The child, when he was jumping, when he was pushed from the mountain, he was holding his chest close with his hand, not because he was afraid, but because he wanted to protect the indweller Narayanan by hitting the rock. Hiranyakasipu ordered Kyadu, because he was saved that time also. Hiranyakasipu ordered his mother Kyadu to feed the poison to Prahlada, and that also did not do anything. To the utter amazement, he digested the poison. So more of Prahlada Charitram and the wonderful Narasimha Avataram we will enjoy next week. Adiyen Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkatesaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha. Jai Sri Narasimha.